Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the RedSeaPodcast. This is Dennis, as always, and this is an even more positive show than the last one. Of course, a completely different time. I hope you all are enjoying your day, as always. Hope you've all had your coffee, and if you don't like coffee, I hope you've had your drinks of choice and your lunch of choice. It's a calm Saturday today. It feels like a calm before the storm with the game set tomorrow against PAOK and then the final week of playoffs before the final four, probably. And yeah, it really feels like a calm moment to be enjoyed because of all the chaos that's said to come. That said, of course, if you're new, I won't bore you with all the self promos. Everything you need is down below in the description, links wise. We are getting scarily close to 500 here, which I honestly couldn't be more thankful. Like, genuinely, the numbers are insane everywhere. So, genuinely, thank you all from the bottom of my heart. And we have a big summer ahead. We have a very big summer ahead, and I'm very, very, very excited for everything I'll be able to give you guys. And yeah, everything else you need, all the socials and stuff are below. And you can as always comment anything, message me anything. Everything's open, and interaction is a must for the show. Now, let's get into the whole thing. And I honestly, you all know that I'm not doing these shows with any kind of script. Like, I have an idea of what I want to talk about, but I talk about thoughts like on the spot mostly. And I was thinking about how to open this one, how to give a general idea about the game. And I don't know if anyone can really describe what we saw. Of course, Olympiacos came in the game with the momentum of having gotten a relatively easy victory in game one, despite not really playing at 100%. So that was, well, before the game, that was both a good and a bad, because of course we had the momentum on our side. Monaco seemed like they were in shambles already from game one. But on the other hand, there was that little thought in the back of everyone's head that what if we relax too much? But no, absolutely not. Ending last show, I did say that I had a very, very good feeling that both the players and the fans would show up even non-comparably better than what happened on game one. And I was proven right about 4 minutes in. Of course, the first quarter was close-ish, and the 28-23. And then the second quarter just sparked chaos with Mike James, of course, crying his way to the locker room. And we probably played arguably one of the best quarters of basketball I've personally ever seen. It's ironic that the two best quarters of basketball I've seen are both against Monaco. Of course, the score in the second quarter alone was 31-8, which is in and of itself absolutely insane. it's unbelievable having finished a quarter, not having conceded double-digit points, and having scored 31 yourself. And then, the half ended at about 20 points difference, and then just everyone was like, yeah, okay, this game's over. And then the third quarter happened, where we relaxed for no reason. And of course, the quarter ended 13-22 as a separated score. But I really can't find it in myself to complain about this game. And I don't know how anyone could actually complain. Like, yeah, okay, we made a mistake. We relaxed for 10 minutes unnecessarily, right? Thinking we had the game wrapped up. But how can you go ahead and complain about a game like this? Okay, you can criticize that point specifically, you can take it out and criticize it. But how are you going after the players and the coach after a night like that? I will never understand. And then, of course, we woke up, we snapped back awake, and finished off the fourth quarter with an insane difference in and of itself, which of course led to our very, very clean 30-point victory. And I think it's very safe to say that we are in the Final Four. I think we're not even with one foot in the Final Four. I think the only thing that's not in there is the heel of the second. We need to just get it done on Tuesday. We need to go ahead and sweep the series with Monaco, which is one of the two achievements that Coach B hasn't actually managed to do yet. So this will be a first as well. Get a clean playoff sweep. And honestly, as much as I didn't expect it, everyone was talking about, oh, this may go to game, not for our series, but this series may go to game 5. That series may go to game 5. We are probably going to witness 4 sweeps, just 4 clean 3-0s, which is totally not what I expected getting into the playoffs this year. Like, even I called, for example, Fener and Zalgiris, I called for that to go game 5. I did not expect Zalgiris to just crumble. Okay, Fener are the defending champions. We knew Saras had built something scary, arguably. But they had a dip in form, they had injuries, but they came back like nothing happened. And at worst, I see them just losing one and getting it over with in game 4. Valencia proved to be the fraud of the year. Like, there is nothing. It's, for those of you that do watch the NBA, it really felt like the Pistons. Like, instead of Cade and friends, it's just John Montero and friends. Pana completely proved why the regular season has nothing to do with the playoffs. Of course, we showed up exactly like we should. And Real beat a team that I honestly don't know how Hapoel are. Even in the playoffs, I don't know how Hapoel spent the majority of the regular season first. I really don't. And of course, a notable stat as well in regards to how different the regular season and the playoffs are is that 3 of the 4 teams are going for a reverse sweep. What does a reverse sweep mean? That 3 of the 4 teams lost both games to their opponents in the regular season. Of course, those 3 teams are us, Pana, and Fener. Of course, as a reminder, we lost both games to Monaco. Fener lost both games to Zalgiris, and Pana lost both games to Valencia. And it's honestly showing as to which teams just know what playoffs mean. It's experience, it's squad quality, and I mean, not most importantly, but very importantly, it's this. It's the buds. It's the buds. You can't compare Valencia to Pana, as much as I hate them. You certainly can't compare Monaco to us. And you, of course, can't compare a team that's debuting in the Euroleague to Real Madrid. Like, come on. The Fener Zalgiris thing is more arguable, but again, when you compare the two between them, it's Fener any day of the week. And of course, as a reminder, I won't get too much into it now because I do want the series to actually be over and I do want to talk about Game 2 itself. As things stand and as things show, the Final Four is going to be us against the defending champions, Fenerbahce, and Real Madrid are going to face Pana, which is going to be certainly a very interesting Final Four. And the fact that for a second year in a row, we have a possibility of a Greek final is something that's unfathomable right now, but we'll get into it when the time comes. Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about. As I started, it's gonna be like as much as I expected the series to be competitive, it's gonna be for a sweep. Let's not lie to ourselves. No one's losing. Like Pan aren't losing at home. Real Madrid isn't gonna lose a game in a neutral venue, and Fener aren't gonna lose. And we, of course, knock on wood, if we show up like we did in Game 1 and 2, we're gonna get things done as well. Now, game-wise, and the man himself, and I'm gonna use the comment as a segue. I talked about it on Game 1. I'll talk about it now as well. Sasha Vezenkov. Sasha Vezenkov, who of course had a lot of criticism, not only from fans, but from opposing players as well when he won the MVP trophy, deservingly so, having the best season of his career. And for me, that's not even up for discussion. He heard stuff from Sylvain Francisco, who's currently getting owned by Wade Baldwin. He heard stuff from Kendrick Nunn, and somehow, some way, another man that spoke up was Jared Blossomgame. And Jared Blossomgame did go on and say that it's not, quote unquote, that hard to guard Sasha Vezenkov. And for a second game in a row in this series, Sasha has dropped 21. Of course, he finished the first game with 20. Now he has 21, 7, and 2 in 20 minutes. So he was scoring more than a point per minute played. And once again, that comment probably looks like the most ridiculous comment ever. Just like the man's antics on the court. I bit my tongue. I'm sorry for that weird pause. But yeah, what's there to say about Vezenkov? Vezenkov is the is the embodiment of the mission this team has. Vezenkov is the embodiment of the mentality that Coach B has honestly bestowed upon the players. Sasha is the mentality of a point to prove both team-wise and personally that last year was a fluke. And Sasha is the embodiment of everything that we've suffered through, and yet the fact that we're still here fighting for it, perhaps, knock on wood, better than ever. The things that Sasha is doing in this series are unbelievable. First of all, he's getting in everyone's head without even wanting to. He said that he will do his talking on the court, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's talking on the court, he's talking through his game, and Sasha's game is unmatched. Like, come on. We've been saying that when he's on his day, he's the best there is. And I don't think that's even true anymore. I think the man is so determined to get to that final step, to lift that damn trophy, that there is no such thing as on his day anymore. And the matter of fact is that it's every game now. I don't see Sasha dropping even for a quarter below his maximum standards. And on the other hand, completely, I think we haven't seen the best of him. I think we'll see a completely different monster of a player in the Final Four. And I think that everyone is going to have a problem named Sasha Vezenkov. And it's going to be a big, big problem. And speaking of big, big problems, everyone doubted this one. Everyone said that he's washed. Everyone said that he's too old. Everyone said that all he does is be a fan. All he does is provoke this, that, and the other. And once again, Evan Fournier has proved everybody wrong. I'll keep pointing back to an interview of Evan Fournier that was, I feel like it was a bit before the playoffs. I feel like it was like 3 months days till the end of the regular, when Evan Fournier said that he doesn't care about personal records anymore. He just wants to help the team. He wants to experience moments like this. As he said on the post game of Game 2, he is here to experience games like this, to help Olympiacos get to where they deserve to be, to experience insane atmospheres like the one that we had on Game 2. And by the way, just a round of applause to the people that were at Zef, a round of applause to Gate 7, a round of applause to everybody, no matter the gender, the age, or everything in between, because I feel like it's the safest time to say that after perhaps 3 years, maybe 2, let me not be that harsh, we saw Seth exactly like it should be. And if you don't think that that atmosphere also played a part in the game, oh, you're more than mistaken. And one of the people, to segue back to the man, one of the people that atmosphere motivated more than arguably anybody, except maybe Tonda Hall and Corey Joseph and such, is Evan Fournier. Evan Fournier, who's had a weird season, Like, if we want to talk about it just as a general picture, I guess Evans had a weird one. He's been up and down. He's played to his standards. He's played below his standards, and he's played above his standards as well. But game one first, and now an even more improved game two, shows me that I was right to believe in the man, and it shows me that I was right to be screaming from the top of my lungs that we'll see a very different Evan Fournier playoff time, and especially a very different Evan Fournier Final Four time. I didn't expect this, though, to be honest with you, because the man said exactly what he was going to do, and no one expected the levels it was going to happen. If he needed to score, he'd score. If he needed to assist and make plays, he would assist and make plays. If he needed to defend, he would defend. And game two, he did everything. Everything. He put up 16, 5, and 7 with a steal to his name, and perhaps picture of the season and moment of the season, where, of course, he pulled up for a corner three. He waited to be clear and pull up for a corner three, which was applauded rightfully by the entirety of the people that were there at Seth. And then the passion, of course, overtook him, and he had one of the most cinematic high fives I've seen with Coach B. And once again, that proves how close everyone is and how passionate they all are this year more than ever. And I really believe in these boys. I can't state enough how much I believe in these boys. Again, probably more than ever. Another crucial factor of game two is a face that's irreplaceable, is a face that we'll never probably see again, and is a man that's timeless, ageless, and of indescribable energy, and that's Shaquille McKissick. Shaq got 10 minutes of game time, and I don't think there is anything to say other than he used them perfectly. One of the biggest positives of Shaquille McKissick has always been that whether he plays 5, 10, 20, 30, or 40 minutes, he'll utilize every single second of game time to the fullest. And thus, once again, he proved to be a game changer. Thus, once again, he proved to provide energy unmatched to the rest of the team and hype up an already insane crowd even more. And thus, he finished the night with 11 and 4 in just 10 minutes. The man had said, who is Olympiacos going to replace me with? And I really, truly feel that we'll never see another Shaq McKissick. We'll never see another so unique player that's going to bond with the team and the fans so well. Because truly, Shaquille McKissick is one. And speaking of one, and speaking of a man that had a very different game than usual, and speaking of a man that's another main reason, I feel like I'm sounding like a broken record, but it's true. Again, it's the Hydra thing. You got one head off, 2 more pop up. Even if everyone is having a good game, because I do truly stand on the thing that everyone had a good game in game 2. It's like everyone's crucial in their own way. And we go back to another point I made on the game one recap, that people adapt. Everyone is willing to do anything whenever needed. And we saw that from Thomas Walkup. Thomas Walkup, who of course isn't known for his shooting. The man has like a billion other positives. Started the game off by being given an open three and scoring it. And everyone was celebrating. And then 2 plays after, he got given another open three and he scored it again. And then he got given another open three and he scored it again. Thomas Walkup finished the game with 10 points and 4 assists. He still found 4 assists, but he was one of our best from long range on the night. And that in and of itself just proves the definition of the word reliability and adaptability. And you can't tell me otherwise. This man is so much better than people give him credit for, honestly. And going back to my previous point of everyone being crucial, there's no one that had a bad game. The one that prompted me to put up the subtitle is Alec Peters. Alec Peters, who finished the night with 20 minutes and a very, very solid 7, 7, and 4 with a steal, of course, to his name, and a very, very solid just shooting percentage. Like it was the Alec of old. He was everywhere. He was absolutely everywhere. He had and showed great chemistry with the team, as he always had, and he was, as always, very reliable. It's what I said, we need everyone at 110%, and that's exactly what showed. Corey Joseph had a great game. Tyler Dorsey, even though he was fighting through an injury, didn't have that much of a stat game as Tyler usually does, but the energy he brought on was arguably game-changing. Frank Nilikina, with one of the highlights of the game, just completely embarrassing Mike James early on, closing him down in the corner, blocking him, and forcing a 24-second violation. What's there to even say anymore? Everyone is aligned and everyone is at their best. And for that itself, I'm the happiest. And that's an actually very valid question, because that was exactly what I was heading toward. I gave deserved flowers to Corey Joseph for game one, just like I gave him deserved flowers for how he ended the season. It was a very different game two, because Corey played 17 minutes. He finished with 5, a very impressive 5 and 3 with a steal to his name. Just a pickpocket of a steal, by the way, just appearing out of nowhere to cut off a pass. And again, we probably can go back to the point of adaptability, because now that Thomas Walkup had one of his best shooting nights in probably the season, Corey could be more of the defensive force that he is. He could play make, he didn't need to score. And again, he didn't have a stat night. And perhaps he didn't have as good of a game as he did in game one, but he still played his part, and it was amazing. And going back again to a point that I did make around game one, this man deserved to hear his name yelled, not just sung by the fans. And that's exactly what happened in game two. And I was so happy to hear it, because if anyone on this team deserves the love, it's this man and his insane rise in form. So I was very, very happy with him, as should everyone be, I feel like. As should truly everyone be. And speaking of the best, speaking of deserved love, and speaking of a front line that is even shocking me as time passes. Speaking of a front line that is even blowing my mind, and I've called them the best many times. I'm out of words. I'm out of words. I don't know what to say about those three anymore. We have Nico Milutinov playing his best basketball, and the man played 13 minutes, finishing up with 4 and 4. We have Donta Hall that can take advantage of every second, not let alone minutes of game time, coming in and finishing with 7 and 5. And we have the returning Tarek Jones, who got the most time to get himself back into it. He did get rhythm, and I'm happy he got time because I did express my disagreement on him getting a DNP on game 1. And we're heading into the Final Four with a scary bunch of players in the paint. And again, we have Musfal out of the squad. We have Musfal out of the squad. We have such a balance. That's the insane thing. That's the insane thing with the entire team. We have such a balance, such quality depth, especially on the front line, where we don't have to even worry about who plays where. We're able to rotate for the league and the Euroleague, and the quality is still insane. That's the wildest thing to me, personally at least. And the man I want to end off on, the man that deserves some more love, in my opinion, and the man whose effect on the team is really never going to go away. And it's one of the people that really deserve the EuroLeague this year, and that's Kostas Papanikolaou. Captain Fantastic, the man that shared such hate coming his way throughout this season, the man that is towards the sunset of his career, and the man that's still the game changer he always was. Pap just brings an effect to the team that can be described by words. Pap just brings the team together in a way that honestly no one else can. He has that coach effect. He has that leader effect. He can calm the team down. He can bring the team together, and in between it all, he'll give his space. Because the man is a quality player. People do forget that the man is an incredibly quality player. Of course, finishing up with 6-3 and 3 in 18 with an incredible defensive effort as well. Just the cherry on the top of the cake for the performance. We need to take a breather. Show up as Olympiacos on game 3. Just get it done. Not even have to worry about it. And see what happens. In general, see what happens. On Tuesday, see what happens on Wednesday. How the Final Four is going to look. Maybe a surprise happens. Maybe not. Who knows? And honestly, I'm very excited. I'm very, very excited. And I'll finish off because I saw this comment. This one right here. And I am expecting you to mean Monaco, your opinion about French baguettes. I am expecting you to mean towards Monaco. And what I'll say is that I hope we never see this team again. Like wholeheartedly. I know everyone's going to leave. I know most people are going to leave. I know James is going. I know Diallo is going. I know Blossom's going probably. And I genuinely do hope we never see this team again. I'm so tired of them. I'm so tired of matching up with them in the postseason. But yeah, that's about that for today. And I hope on Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever it is, we can sit back, relax, and take a breather before talking about the Final Four. Thank you all for your unbelievable support. Oh, by the way, injury update, sorta, because I don't know. As you all saw, Tyson Ward is in rehab and doing his best to make Game 3. So I will keep you updated on that on socials and stuff as usual. As I was saying before, I remember the point that I wanted to make and forgot. Thank you, like wholeheartedly. We are heading into a period of which I'm very excited, more freedom for content, celebrations coming, talks coming, the insanity of transfer season coming as well. And there is a lot of content I'm very excited to give you. Check out all the socials below. Thank you, whether you've been watching from day one or yesterday. You're part of a community I'll always be the proudest of. See you all soon.